Breathing in love and breathing out love to you all. There are moments in your life or in my life where I thought I was totally on the wrong path. And there are signs where you can detect that you are on the wrong path. And to not end up like a 90-year-old and regretting everything that you could have done in your life, I just want to bring out with this video that it is important to recognize that this low energy that you're feeling or this vibrancy that doesn't fit to your inner being has only to do with yourself. And there are moments in life where you have to sit things through. I did that too for a few years, where you just have to, I had an end goal with it. So I knew it won't end up being my whole life. But I know people that have, that stay in that moment all their life. And if you don't want to end up like 90% of old people with no regrets, there is a chance and a good opportunity in your life that right now you can change it. So you know that you are on the wrong path. It's not that you have to sit down, meditate and think about your whole life. You know you are on the wrong path. And that is the moment where you have to re-switch in your mind if it's worth it for a few years. Like, is it money-wise good that the next 3 years you can do it, and then you take off to your authentic path, your right path, the one that feels really right in your heart? Or is it not worth fighting for because you feel stuck? Of course, if you've built a house or if you've done something with a huge responsibility, it's not so easy to shove off even a wrong path because there are a lot of responsibilities behind it. But there is an authentic path you can take in small risks that you can do. The thing is, if you are granted the biggest present in your life that you've always wanted, and I think we all talk about 1 million in the lotto because otherwise we wouldn't be playing this lotto thing, is as soon as you are granted this, you will go in with the same mindset as you have right now. The mindset doesn't change overnight. Even if you are granted every present that you want, it means that you would have to work on yourself. It will take time, even with that 1 million. So the thing is, whatever you are doing right now, and even if it doesn't feel like the right path, try to start loving it. I was on the wrong path with the wrong people, wrong job, wrong partner, wrong everything. And I still, when I look back to these days, it wasn't like everything was just black. I made it nice for myself. I knew I wasn't on the right track because I could see that nothing was responding the way I thought it could be. And it wasn't making my life quality really high. But what I could do was always go into my little world. And even if I was just shopping somewhere and finding out new recipes or bringing things to work that, something that I cooked for everyone to have, I always try to find a way to lighten up the days of others and the days of myself, even though I knew I wasn't on the right path. And even the wrong path brings you to the right path. It's like the wrong path. The wrong path has a huge advantage in it. You have to find that one, because you wouldn't have taken that path in the first place if there wouldn't have been a huge advantage for you. In my case, it was just testing the grounds of traveling and having like a really problem-free lifestyle and always optimizing. And I had moments also in this wrong path where, when I look back, I trusted my intuition so much. Once I didn't even have an apartment anymore, nearly. Like, it was a few weeks until I didn't have an apartment anymore. And I just trusted my intuition to not sign one contract with someone to live, because my intuition was always telling me, not now, not now, not now. And then I got like the best deal I could get. And yeah, suddenly, really from one moment to another, everything fell into place. And it really wasn't a moment to joke about. And that I could keep myself calm, that I could just trust my intuition, even on wrong paths, that one day I would be sitting here on this couch, painting the way I want to, speaking with you. Um, it just leads you there. Sometimes these wrong paths have to be fought and gone through to get you somewhere, but you have to know what the purpose and the gift is that God gave you. Um, I knew that I can balance people, but if you are in a different job, you know you can only do it to a certain extent. So I took that wrong path that I was going on and turned my daily life into little experiences of what I'm doing right now. I balanced people out with jet lag, drunken people. So many things happened throughout my daily life there that you can already practice how your right path way will look like. You will also experience anxiety attacks. So these anxiety attacks are quite normal, like in little doses you'll have it all the time. Should I stay on that path? And if you are on a wrong path, you have some kind of advantage out of it, mostly some kind of salary. And if you have that salary to your disposal and as an advantage, and you're thinking about a total new way to go fearlessly, which won't happen because normally you get more anxiety attacks going your right way. It's not like the right way just feels like you're going through a field and just walking your way at the beginning, but the wrong way will always show you these little things, because you don't want to give up the wrong way, but you don't want to go the right way. So you're always like in a dilemma. The right way was for me frightening because I had to give up all the securities of the other side of the wrong ways. So you want to go the right way, but you give up all your securities of the wrong way. So you're in the middle of an identity crisis because you're like, yeah, but that one hasn't proven itself right yet. So all of this dilemma, you have to find out what you want. And most of all, which fear you can really cope with. Because if someone would have shown us at school how we could cope with our fears, we would be all more on the right path. But I do believe in karma, and karma means the wrong path shows you something that you think is the wrong path. The wrong path will learn you lessons that are so important for the later life of going that right way, that are immeasurable, valuable for yourself. By choosing the right path in your life, you will experience that you're not bored anymore. You don't want to run from that life anymore. It's a happiness and a life quality that is immeasurable. So suddenly you can concentrate. It's something that is so amazing. It's not like someone in the morning is telling you what you should do and you just follow instructions. It's like you have to be your instructor. It has to be your own CEO. You know, you're giving yourself pauses and holidays and everything, and yeah, you're budgeting everything for yourself. There is no one anymore who does that for you. As soon as you go a certain path that has nothing to do with normal job life anymore. But I don't know what yours would be. Maybe a total new job, but going this right way, it's just you stop distracting yourself. You're always like point there. You're like, I'm always in the present moment. And energetically always there. I don't look once onto the clock how many hours I do things like a video or a painting or writing or traveling. It's just like everything just melts into one. And that is something you don't have when you're on the wrong path. So staying stuck on the wrong path and then knowing what your right path is. You have to go and question your heart, and you have to go and question the heart so you get the answers. You have to become still. You have to read books. You have to find out could I do this alone? Could I really do this alone? Because I'm doing at the moment every single step alone. There is just no community, like a whole company around me that I worked for, that where everyone has their process steps so that everything works. You're doing all the steps, so you have to know when you're on the wrong path, do I even want to step onto the right path? Because that's the moment, if you stay stuck in your wrong path, you're going to stay stuck until death. There is no other way. You don't suddenly switch with 60, very seldomly, but it happens, but very seldomly with 60 or 70, and then you suddenly have this light bulb and you think, I should have become a painter. That doesn't work. If your heart has some kind of calling or yearning that makes everything else seem boring and distracting and not the way, you should go for that way, because that's what you were sent for here, and that's life purpose fulfilling. If you are on the wrong path and you're not stepping onto that right path that your heart is calling you for, you are self-doubting yourself. I had that too. I had the most biggest self-doubt where I was like, yeah, but you have this voice, a nagging voice in you. If you listen to that one, nothing will happen. It's like this, you can't do this, you can't talk, you can't paint all day, you can't write, you can't be somewhere else, you can't do this. All these can't messages you get from your heart, write them down and write, I can do, full stop. I can go traveling, I can go painting, I can go broadcasting my message, whoever wants to listen. I can balance women in an instant. That is not self-doubting anymore. Self-doubt is when you're on the wrong path and you just stay like a little mouse or a little guinea pig in the house and just eat 80 times a day like our guinea pigs do. That is staying stuck. Remember, there will be a day where there is no another day. That's what always gets me from Paulo Coelho. If you were buried alive and you were allowed to come back, and there would be like no limitation, what would you be doing? And if I had no limitation, if I had all the money in the world, I would still be doing what I'm doing. I would still want this world to be a better place. I would still want women to have the energy and the balance that they need. And if you do it without being paid, you're on the right path, and not being bothered that you're not paid. And one day you will be paid. I think that the law of attraction, the law of everything in life will come to you. But you have to have a service. Everyone has a different one. Others are doing things with horses. Others are kayaking. There are so many things you can do. But there is a heart yearning. And for me, it was always balance. For me, it's always this huge, huge word balance in this world, where you can stand like a yogi in the middle of all of this and still have the light and the love that you need. So the moment you set out for that right path is the moment where you don't self-doubt you anymore, and you are not waiting for others to give you the permission. It's not like your husband suddenly stands up and says, oh, you should be a rent-a-cook, or you should be a psychotherapist, or you could be whatever. No one will come towards you. So the moment I gave myself the permission, everything suddenly changed and switched. Because I was together with a narcissist, and he told me that there is no use of coaching in the world. And I have a different philosophy about this. So someone who's trying to bring you down, or doesn't say anything about your heart's desires. Normally parents don't even say anything about your heart's desires. School doesn't say anything about your heart's desires. You have to know what your heart desire is. So give yourself the time, travel, do things, find out how you tick, and you won't wait for that permission of others. There are studies that say that anything you create will make you happy and grow. And just by taking in orders from someone else is a cool thing, because you can secure your life. It's a security. But the moment you set out and just knit some socks for the next market, You have already created something that for someone else has a value. And doing this kind of life is the one that just fills up that heart in a way that you can't even imagine. So whatever that right way is for you, take that road, because life has a limit. You have a limitless soul in you. You're not that body. You're a spirit. But this experiencing of your consciousness in this life has a limit. And that has to be brought to life. So the more authentic you are with yourself, not with others, also with others would be good, but the authenticness that you have with yourself in the moments where you are alone in the shower, alone in your bed, alone while driving without music, alone just maybe jogging, whatever your thing is. If you are authentic with yourself and face your fears, it's if you suddenly turn around and you face those fears and you say, you know what, we're going to try this. We're going to try if there is a way of doing this. Is just such a magical moment. Maybe that is the enlightenment moment where no one can stop you. It's like a huge, I don't know, it's like a huge train coming towards you, and you are so scared not to hop on that train. It's like the train is running by and it's following you all the time. It's like you're running in front of that train and the train is following you. And suddenly you turn around because you think, okay, when I'm going to turn around, this thing is just going to override me and I'm going to be dead anyhow. And somehow you just turn around, and the moment you face this huge lock, this huge train, and you suddenly understand that you can let that train go by and hop on and take that energy of fear into the direction that you want. Is just so empowering that I want everyone to have this kind of feeling in them. Thing I have learned through my Eat, Pray, Love journey of just taking off to places I always wanted to stay in as an inhabitant and not as a, I never wanted to be like a tourist. I always wanted to be the real traveler, the real staying there, not tourist, but person. The thing I learned through that is that you need that time. It sounds so stupid, you know. Anyone, even my friends, I wouldn't be able to say, you know what, take that time and get off everything. You won't have, but you will need a lot of time to figure out who you are. I never thought this was possible. I always thought after 3 weeks I'm kind of normal, I'm kind of relaxed, I'm kind of balanced. No. After 3 months of Sardinia, that was the moment I thought, well, this is how one should feel. Really, really disconnected to the whole past, because you sort out your problems, and so in the now, because I could stay at a place that was so magical in itself, and I didn't distract myself with thousands of places of that island. I stayed in one place, which was already called Holy Place, so there was no, that was the best thing that could have happened. But you have to give yourself that time to understand what kind of a feeling I have still. It's still with me. And I do believe that we don't give ourselves these times anymore. We pick out a place in this life to get off the wrong path, to get onto the right path. A holiday won't help. It's not like you can go for 2 weeks to Malta and with your boyfriend that is maybe very fresh. You go there and you just say, oh, this is nice. This is a nice boat. This is a nice house. This is a nice ocean. This is a nice, oh, let's go to a museum. Let's go eating. Let's do this. Let's do that. Won't help. You have to go all by yourself. Pick a place. I'm always saying it again and again. You have to go somewhere where you can contact yourself, where the only thing that is happening in your mind is talking with yourself. And that is something I emphasize anytime and with anyone. You will contact yourself in speed lightning. So I tell you, the right path would come right after you're doing these things. And if you are parents, do it with your kids. Give them a budget, or make them work for it, I don't know. Give them a budget and just tell them, go somewhere, learn that language, stay there. And if you can, stay there for a whole year. And that will do something with you spiritually that you won't forget all your life. So we don't go back to being 90 years old and regretting. So the right path, you will feel that you're on your right path. If you feel your most authentic, beautiful self, so that you can attract what you want in life. I wish that for everyone. Breathing in love and breathing out love to you all.